Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Kate and this is Ripper Seams. Well, what an absolute roller coaster of a month April was. I still can't believe I've actually launched a YouTube channel. This is all totally new to me and I'm completely overwhelmed by the wonderful response I've got in regards to it. So thank you very much for everybody who has subscribed, everyone who's given me a thumbs up. It's been an absolute delight just reading through all the comments that have come through, all your suggestions, your recommendations, all your feedback, even those who've just said hello. I really appreciate it and it's been a real fun ride reading through those comments. I still have a few more to read that I'm still getting through to and responding to, so if there's a little bit of a delay, I really apologize for that. I do work full-time, so I'm just taking little snippets throughout the day to be able to read through those, but I'll get there eventually and catch up. So if you haven't done so already, go ahead and click on that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, and you can also click on the notification bell just to be doubly sure. And finally, a big thank you to Katrina from Create Something Pretty for giving me a shout out on her vlog last week. It was really unexpected and really lovely surprise to hear that. I've been watching Katrina for quite a while, so if you want another Aussie vlogger to watch, then I highly recommend her channel. She's also one of the Sewist of Oz who are currently running the Autumn Denim Challenge, which is going over the next couple of months. So go out and check out her channel and her Instagram and find out more about that fun challenge for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere where it is now heading into autumn. And with that, let's get into this week's video. So April is now out of the way, which means we are tiptoeing into May, and of course it is a Me Made May month. Me Made May is a challenge that has been created by Zoe from Sozo blog. It's a really interesting personal challenge for people to have a look at the handmade items in their wardrobe and improve their relationship with the clothes that they have made themselves. This time last year I was just starting to dive deeper and deeper into the world of sewing, having had a few successful makes under my belt, and I stumbled across this challenge and was really inspired by all the different makes that people are making, but also being able to wear at least one item every single day of the month. For me back then it was like, wow, that's a lot of sewing, but now that I've done a lot of that myself, I had a step back to see if I could participate. I was really pleased to see that, yeah, I could actually get away with wearing at least one me made item every single day of May. So that is what I'm going to do. That is my pledge. I want to wear at least one item I've made myself every day, and also to style it with other items that I've got in my wardrobe. Think a little bit differently about how those clothes might go with something else which I hadn't even considered. I'll be posting all my outfits of the day on Instagram just as a little record, and maybe my own little personal challenge to kind of cheer me on and make sure I've got a good 30 photos in my feed by the end of the month. So that's my commitment there. The other thing I wanted to do was actually have a look at the gaps that are in my wardrobe. I very quickly knew what that was because I was very focused on making tops, because that's what I needed in my wardrobe at the time. But I think I've got that covered for a decent while at the moment, and I really need to focus on making me-mades for the bottom half. So that's where I'm looking at now. I love wearing dresses. This is the other thing. I want to make more dresses and have a lovely selection of beautiful, colorful, handmade dresses. So I'm very much focused on getting my dress count up this year, particularly over spring and summer, but also to try and start making myself some pants, because that is my current fear zone, is making pants. But I would love to have wonderful handmade pants for myself, but it is something I am scared to do, and that's mainly because I am pear-shaped, and the whole entire idea of getting those pants to fit properly in my mind is a big challenge, and that's something I need to overcome, and I should probably just pull that band-aid off and just get on and do it. I do have a few patterns in mind, two of them which are from Style Arc. One of them is the Claire pant and also the bob pant. I think these two styles would probably suit me well, and I'd kind of want them in quite plain fabrics. I don't really want to have patterns on my lower half. I'd rather keep all the excitement and drama on my top half to balance out my body. I think I need the excitement up the top, and I like a little bit more of a business down the bottom. So there are my focus areas going forward, and with that in mind, this has really helped shape what I'm going to make going forward. And I'll get onto what my plans are coming up. Separate to Me Made May, but another kind of personal wardrobe challenge I wanted to set myself this year was to wear a lot more color. So this is kind of driven by the fact that I had a new work photo taken recently of me, and my wardrobe, when I looked at it, the majority of colors that are in there are khaki green, black and grey. And when I had this photo taken, I was wearing these colours, and when I got the photo back, I just looked completely drained. Those colours were not doing me any favours. But then I looked at photos where I'm wearing brighter colours and everything. It just made such a big difference that I really need to start leaning into those colours. And then I also realised, you know what, I had my colours done 10 years ago, and that little swatch of colours, which I actually have here, I was completely ignoring it. Every now and then I find this, most of the time it's sitting somewhere in a handbag which I haven't used in years, and I find it again and I reference it, then I forget it. So I'm now keeping this very, very close to me. So I had my colours done just after my daughter was born, because my brain at the time just was completely lost. My body shape had changed, my whole entire life had changed, and I needed just someone to come and help me kind of get my thinking on board about what type of style of clothes I wanted, what colours would suit me best. So this is where this little swatch of colours come in. Now, because that was 10 years ago, I've actually forgotten what the colour family they've actually put me in, and I suspect I am in a cool summer when I actually compare these photos to kind of what I can see on the internet. But I think I would very much like to have my colours reassessed, because it's been 10 years now. There's a possibility that my palette has potentially changed, maybe not by much. I would very much like to see if I could get some other colours in here, or if this is my colour palette, just confirm that these are the colours I definitely need to lean into going forward. For some reason, I always avoid pinks and reds, but when I've been wearing those lately, I've been absolutely loving those clothes. Likewise with these kind of teals and turquoises. So even the blues, this is the blues that I'm wearing on this top here, and I probably have steered away from navy for so long, and it is probably a colour I should definitely be wearing a lot more. So yeah, so that is my challenge this year. We're going to make more clothes to suit my bottom half, more dresses. I'm going to learn how to style my clothes a lot better, especially mixing those me-mades in with my other clothes, and slowly over time kind of have more me-mades versus shop bought clothes. And finally is to embrace the colour. So with my pledge in mind, and also just rethinking about where I want to get my sewing plans, what's in my wardrobe, what I should focus on, I have tweaked my sewing agenda over the next few months a little bit to focus more definitely on dresses, and kind of throwing a few pants and skirts in there as well. So I think you'll see a theme coming through in the rest of my video. To kick things off, we do have a long weekend in the UK, so I'm going to really focus on cutting out Butterick 6705, which I've mentioned in a previous video. I really want to make up view A on here, which is the simple dress with the long sleeves and the elasticated cuffs, and that will be done in this viscose chalet here. This is from Sew Me Sunshine, and the cream flowers and kind of like the petrol coloured kind of centres of the flowers are in my colour palette, even though it's brown. I think this will work really, really nicely with this pattern and kind of suit me really well. And it'll be great for spring, summer as well, for those slightly cooler days. I think this would be a good transitional piece going into autumn, and maybe even winter if I can wear it with boots and a jacket or something. So that's that one. And the next pattern is a new pattern to me, which is the Maison Fauve Transat dress here. I saw this pattern at the Stitch Festival, and it kind of just really stuck in my mind, even more so when I saw someone at work recently which had a very similar silhouette in a dress that they were wearing, and they had it in this lovely kind of creamy flowy fabric, and it had tied off at the waist with a lovely black kind of fabric belt, as well as a nice little bow and stuff like that. It looks stunning, and this is very, very similar. So at some point kind of want to replicate that look, because it kind of really stuck in my mind. But in the meantime, I'm going to make this up in this lovely viscose slub crepe from Lady McElroy. This is a really nice biscuit kind of base to it, and it's got these lovely beautiful birds. This is where the colour pops in here. So these beautiful teals are just kind of flowing out through these birds. There's some lovely pinks and reds in here as well. I've been looking at this print for quite a while now, and finally folded and got some when it was on sale on Minerva. So I've got 3 meters here, which is plenty enough for the Transat dress. So the Transat dress does have these lovely pin tucks on the shoulders here. It does have this kind of wrap belt as well. It's got a little slit at the front, and it comes in sizes 34 up to 52. I've not made a Maison Fauve item yet, so this will be a new experience, but they've got a lovely booklet in there which looks pretty straightforward, and it does say it's quite an easy make. So fingers crossed I'll be able to kind of have a couple of new dresses in my wardrobe very soon. And finally, the next thing on my agenda I want to make is a skirt. I have this lovely kind of really light denim here. It is, I'd like to think it's almost a chambray, but it's just a little bit heavier than the chambray that I've worked with recently. And I've got 1.5 meters here, which is perfect for making the Lewis skirt from Sussex Seamstress. Now, I've actually had this pattern for quite a while, but as my pattern collection has grown and my confidence has grown, I've kind of left this one off to the side. So I think I'm going to revisit this because this is probably something I should have made ages ago. Now the Lewis skirt is quite straightforward. It is a 3-tiered skirt and it has just a little light ruffling around the side, so it's not a full ruffle skirt, and it also has a side zip, so it's quite an easy make. So I think I could turn that one around quite quickly. I think it's called the Lewis skirt. Lewis skirt. I don't know how you pronounce that one. So when I was actually going through the pattern pieces, make sure I had them all because I had cut them out previously, I realized I had actually made a toile as well from the top yoke section of the dress, because this is the first time I graded from a smaller size to a larger size on a pattern, and I was good enough to go and cut that out properly and see if it fit. Now I tried this on again, this fitted me perfectly, so I think my pattern pieces are ready to go, so I can probably have quite a quick turnaround on this skirt. So watch this space to see if I get this done in the next week or so. So let's talk about what I am wearing today. You might recognize it because last time you saw it, Barbara was wearing, but I'm wearing it today because I did wear it to the office, and that is Simplicity S9469. This is a lovely workhorse top. I really, really love it. I just love this kind of rounded neck hole there with the tie at the front. I might try it in one of the V-necks next time, but to be honest, if I made it up again in this one, which I'm not going to do it in the near future because I've got skirts and pants and stuff to sew, this is definitely one I will probably reach for. So moving on from my make, let's have a little chat about what Barbara is wearing, and Barbara is wearing a work in progress. So this was going to be my final entry in the Sew April Blouse challenge, but on Monday evening the jet lag from Seattle kicked in and I decided that I needed to stop. I needed to go have a rest, kind of just recharge my batteries and go a little bit slower, and if I missed putting this into the competition then that was totally fine. I would much rather have a really well made piece that wasn't rushed and had ripper seams than try and kind of rush that into that competition. So this is where we are. I walked away and I haven't touched it since, but that's my priority to do this weekend because I'm very much someone when it comes to sewing that I have to finish the item I'm sewing before I start anything new, because if I know that if I go and put that down somewhere, that will stay there for the next 2 decades and I will not get that done. So I must finish this, and I reckon I'll probably be able to finish this up tomorrow. So this is a Simplicity S9467, which is a very blousey blouse, but I didn't have a blouse like this in my wardrobe, and I thought it would be just a really nice option to have for when you need that kind of like more elevated top type look. So I've made it in this Lady McElroy viscose slub crepe, which is a really nice texture, and it's got this lovely kind of soft pink base to it with these really fancy vintage flowers on there. I just think it's really, really pretty, and I think it'll be a good addition into my wardrobe. So these are all the different views you've got here. There is a ruffle which you can add across the yoke at the bust. I've opted not to do that. Then you can also change the collar. You can just have the collar stand without the additional bits on there. And there's also 2 different sleeve types. You can have this like really big full sleeve. I've gone for the more kind of straightforward, straighter sleeve, and the shorter cuff as well. And if you really want to, you can have it without sleeves. I've gone for view A, which is the longer length and kind of the standard sleeves. I decided to go for the longer length even though I'm only 5'3", because I just wanted to see what it was like, and I had the fabric, so I thought I'd rather cut it too long than too short. So I've tried it on and it's definitely too long, so I will cut it back to the shorter length here and maybe a little bit extra. Part of the reason for me picking this particular pattern was there's some things which I've not tried in sewing before, and I wanted to challenge myself and give things a go. So those things were sewing a collar stand for the first time, but also to do a full button placket, more of a blousey item. I have done it on a jacket before. I just wanted to do a bit more of a delicate, different type of doing that button placket, but also to have kind of a buttoned cuff sleeve as well. So those 3 things are currently in play. I found the instructions for this actually quite good. Obviously they're not telling you to finish your seams, but I think everything else in there I've been able to follow. I'm so pretty pleased with this. It does run from size 6 through to size 22 if you're interested in making this one. This is the other arm which I've got here. I just do have to finish off sewing in the first side of that cuff there, putting in some buttonholes and also the buttonholes there, and then hemming it. Yeah, so watch this space. I'll put up the finished results on Instagram, but also showing you in my next video as well. So before we close out this video, I thought I would just share with you some of the goodies that the postman has delivered to me this week from what I have ordered. I did buy some of the newer patterns from the big four that have dropped recently on So Direct, but I also succumbed to some very crafty direct marketing by Serta on Instagram, mainly because I've been looking for a certain pattern for quite a while. I've seen a few that were similar to what I wanted, but was never really the right style. But man, Serta actually delivered, and they got me with this one here, which is this beautiful granny square cardigan. Man, this is just screaming summer to me, and I've been looking for a granny square cardigan for quite a while, and this is just perfect for me. It's this really light boxy shape, which is a bit cropped, and I absolutely love this neckline here. So I think this is one of their new patterns for this season. It is number 10740, and it is made specifically for this Stories yarn, which I believe is a DK and a cotton mix yarn. It seems like they've got a really nice range of summery colors available, and I just love this particular pattern. I think being granny squares, it's going to be quite a simple make, I think, and the instructions are actually really quite detailed and colorful. So if you're into diagrams, you can follow the diagrams, but if you want written instructions, you can follow that too. If you go to their website, you can order these. You can either order just the PDF, or you can order the actual hard copies, which they'll mail out to you, as well as getting the PDF as well. So I opted for the hard copies because I just like having them in my hand to refer to, rather than printing them out, and I think I was really happy with getting this particular one. So this is the first one here. They had more in this collection, so therefore I also got this lovely one, which is another boxy cardigan, but I absolutely love the kind of color contrast that's going on the sides and under the sleeves of this particular one. I also love the kind of the collar and the half sleeve. If you've watched my previous videos, you might know that this colorway is very similar to what is on the Donny shirt, which I had made up in the mushrooms. As soon as I saw this colorway, I thought, you know what, this is going to look fantastic with that Donny shirt and some denim shorts or something for summer. So straight away I got this one. So again, this has got these lovely patterns in here with all the illustrations, so you can really see what you're making up and how it all goes together. It really does lean into that granny square stitch on here. I actually think this would be quite a fast make as well. So I think if I'm not sewing, I'm probably going to make this one first. And finally, they also had this one here, which I think is really pretty. It's a little bit more complex crochet on this one. It's a little bit more dense, and it's also a longer line. So if you're interested in these, this one is 10742, this one is 10741 and 10740, but that's not all. There's a whole heap in this range, so if you're interested in these, go check out the Serta website for these lovely summer makes. That leaves us with the patterns I got from So Direct, and the first one is this one, which is Butterick 6999. Now this is a 3-tiered maxi dress, and I'm fully aware that I could probably draft this myself, but you know what, I don't want to. I just want to have a pattern, which is why I got this one. I absolutely love maxi dresses. I've been wearing them for such a long time, and I know it's a style that suits me. When I'm in Australia, I tend to gravitate towards them. I think they're really great for hot weather. Very airy and flowy, but still gives you heaps of coverage. I like wearing them with vest tops, almost exactly what this lovely lady is wearing here. And then of course, when it gets a little bit cold, you can just chuck on a denim jacket. Also versatile for wearing in autumn and winter as well. I like wearing with boots and a leather jacket and so on. So yeah, I'll get lots of makes made out of this one. Now I bought a lovely similar skirt when I was in Australia recently, which is black, which has some lovely ditzy white flowers all over it. And whilst I was there, I kept seeing these lovely white or creamy coloured ones. I was trying to find one whilst I was there. I didn't, so this is why I got this, because I really want to make almost exactly this, a really nice fresh white floaty maxi skirt. I think it's going to look absolutely lovely. So this size range is an 8 through to a 26 for this one. So yeah, Butterick 6999. The next one's a little bit different for me, not something I would normally gravitate towards, but it is New Look N6762. It is labeled as an easy make, and it looks pretty easy, so I'm excited to give this a go. I'm still finding my feet with jersey. So far all my makes have come out really well, so I can't see why this one won't be any different. So this is a 2-piece set, quite a simple long skirt, but it does have a particularly high slit on it by looking at her there. So depending on how daring you want to go with that slit, I'm sure you can adjust that according to what you feel comfortable in. It does have a half sleeve here, which ends at the elbow, and the ruching on the top as well. So I thought this was quite a fun make, something I'm interested to see whether it suits my style. If not, I know I can wear a skirt like this, and maybe if I don't want to wear them together, I could definitely wear them as separates going forward. So being a New Look pattern, they do have sizes ranging from small through to double extra large. So I kind of think I might make it up in a darker color, kind of like what they've got pictured here. So that's New Look 6782. two there. And finally, I got a Vogue pattern for one of their new releases as well, which is a V2025. I absolutely think this is beautiful. And I see a world where I have both of these views in my wardrobe. This first one here has got this lovely floaty sleeve effect on there. I just think the contrast between these two, there's a beautiful summery fabrics and something a little bit more elegant. I just think it's a great contrast. So well done, Vogue, for kind of showing that off. It does have kind of this cutout detail just below the bust and also little straps around the neckline as well. Oh man, she's got pockets as well. I just clocked that just then. What an absolute winner. Look at that pocket. Looking at the fabric requirements, sorry, I got carried away there. Looking at the fabric requirements, it does look like this is fully lined, which is an extra bonus. So this one here, if you made this in a really pretty floaty voile and have the lining underneath, this is going to look so pretty. But I think this would look really nice in a dressy, shiny satin type material for like end of year parties and stuff. I think this is going to be really, really good. So Vogue patterns running from a size 8 through to a 26 by the looks of it. So yeah, check this one out. This is on a pre-release, I believe. Picked it up as part of the 50% off It's So Direct. If it's not in a shop near you at the moment, it'll probably be there very, very soon. Now, I do need to go back and just reassess the Vogue patterns. There's a couple in there which I still think I might want to get before the 50% sale finishes. But at the moment, those are the 3 patterns which caught my eye and have now been added to my collection. And finally, I picked up the Kylie and the Machine Sweary Sewist Labels collection number 4. I just thought these are a lot of fun. I love sneaking these into my makes and having a little giggle every time I see them. So I was pretty happy to get those in the mail this week. And with that, we've come to the end of my video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. If you've enjoyed my video, then please give me a thumbs up, as it lets me know that I've done a good job and to keep doing more. Of course, feel free to drop a comment down below. I've done a little bit of tweaking to the sound in the video this week to try and make things better. I'm still very, very new to YouTube and filming these videos, so I'm trying all sorts of things to make these videos better for you to watch and enjoy. So if you've seen an improvement, let me know. If you haven't, also let me know. I think this type of feedback is really, really good for me to kind of level things up for you going forward. If you got any tips or advice on those makes or patterns that I've shown you today, I would absolutely love to hear about them. Or if you just want to say hello, then feel free to say hello and I will go and say hello back. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, then please go down and push that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. You can also click on that notification bell as well, just to be doubly sure. And with that, I wish you a wonderful week of sewing ahead, and I'll see you in the next video.